Cool. All right, so I went back into my journal and all the way back to 2008 to share this with you. This is from Mega Camp in Atlanta, Georgia back in 2008, and we were going through a shift, and I thought this information was pretty cool. Cliff Young, 57-year-old potato farmer. Who had a passion for running. At the age of 61, won the ultra marathon of 800 plus miles. Now, does anybody here know how he won it? Because he had a strategy that caused him to win, because he certainly wasn't the fastest runner. What was his strategy? Got a lot of head shaking no. So cool. His strategy was he did not sleep while everyone else was sleeping. Nobody told him that he was supposed to stop at the end of the day and sleep. So he just kept running. Now, I wonder, what would your real estate career look like? What would the real estate career of someone that I could take from off the streets, brand new to real estate, and tell them this is the plan? Now, if you follow the plan, here's what's going to happen. And then we guarded them against, we guarded them from all the negativity that goes on around them. All of the drunk monkeys who are telling them, oh, this doesn't work, oh, that won't work, or you can't do this, or that's not the way it's supposed to work. I wonder what they could accomplish. I think the answer to that is probably anything. So, mindset, right? Okay, good. 10-year rule. If you'll focus for 10 years for 3 hours per day, every day you will outperform everyone else in spite of talent. 3 hours a day for 10 years and you will outperform everyone else. So what does that mean to me? That means that every single one of you on this call could be the top agent in your market. Go research today and see who the top agent is, how much they're selling, and that could be you. Matter of fact, it will be you if you implement that plan. In other words, if you focus for 3 hours a day, that will be you. Okay, so I am skipping ahead to, we're still on mindset, guys. The power of thought. Our choices have made us what we are today. Our thinking creates a pathway to success or failure. Outside influences are not responsible for where you are in life. You alone have chosen the path to your present destination. Now, here's the good news. If you don't like where you are, you being responsible for that is good news. Because if it was truly somebody else's fault, what are you going to do about that? Absolutely nothing. If it's the president's fault, if it's the economy's fault, if it's the weather's fault, if it's your spouse's fault, if it's your next door neighbor's fault, what are you going to do about that? But when you look in the mirror and you can honestly say, I am responsible for where I am today, well, I could do something about that. All right, so if 90% of success is mindset, does that mean I will reach 90% of my goal if I just focus on changing the way I think? No. Success is 90% mindset, 10% skill set. I hope you guys are taking notes. Success is 90% mindset, 10% skill set. So that 10% matters. And what's the 10%? All right, there's 15 items on the 10%. Get ready to write them down. Scripts and dialogues. Master your scripts, master your dialogues. I would say master the conversations of real estate. Move from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, which is, by the way, that's a good thing. Unconscious incompetence, that's dangerous. That's someone who thinks they know everything they know and they actually don't know anything and they don't know it. There goes Lucy. Nadine, tell Lucy I said hi. So move. Yeah. Hi, Lucy. So unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, and then to get to conscious competence. And that means I'm starting to practice my scripts. I'm starting to learn the conversation of real estate. When I have the scripts in front of me, I'm able to lead generate using those scripts at a pretty high level of success. That's conscious competence. Now, mastery is unconscious competence. That's getting to the point where you've internalized it, to the point where you own it, where you can't get it wrong. Skill set, scripts and dialogues. By the way, guys, it's number 1 on the list of 15 for a reason, because it's the most important one. All right. The second skill that I'm going to develop is lead generation. Yes, lead generation is a skill. You have to define lead generation, by the way. So when somebody says to me, well, I'm going to lead generate for 3 hours every day, my answer to that is awesome. What does that look like to you? Specifically, tell me what that means. Now, what it meant for me in 15 years of production was I was going to lead generate a minimum of 3 hours a day. I was going to talk to at least 20 people a day. I was going to add one person to my database every single day. And I was going to schedule at least 2 face-to-face appointments every single day with someone who is thinking of buying a home or someone who's thinking of selling their home. And at the end of the day, if I didn't hit those metrics, then I wasn't in lead generation. So it's 20 conversations a day and 2 appointments a day, whichever comes last. You guys hear that? That means if I have 5 conversations and I schedule 2 appointments, I'm not going to stop and go to the beach. I'm going to stay on the phone and keep making calls until I get to 20 conversations. You never know when you might need those extra conversations for another day when you don't hit your goal. Front load. Here's what front load means. Hit your goals for the entire month in the first 2 weeks. What would your work day look like if you had to accomplish the same goal working half the hours? Work expands to fit the time allowed. Bold law. Okay, number 3, closing for the appointment. It's a skill. I'm going to master the skill of closing for the appointment. Number 4, best practices for follow-up. Number 5, recognizing opportunity and closing for a listing appointment. Recognizing opportunity means a lot of different things. And one of the things it means is I'm talking to someone in a follow-up call and they're starting to sound frustrated. That's opportunity. And when I hear that, I'm like, Lucia, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. However, if you were to hire a professional real estate agent like me, you would want an aggressive agent, wouldn't you? And it sounds like you might be thinking it's time to hire a professional like me. If I could show you how I could, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money and less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? All right, 100% script. Got it? See, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. Guys, I'm talking in bullet points because this is how I want you to write your scripts, because this is how we talk. Louise, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me.
No, not the script, John.
Uh-huh.
I'm writing down your numbers 1 through 15. Number 4 is best practices. Number 5 is
recognizing opportunity and closing for a listing appointment.
Thanks.
So in other words, when you're talking to people, you need to be able to recognize opportunity. I'm working like a farmer, I'm thinking like a hunter. And what that means, Mark, is a farmer is planting seeds, they're watering the crops, they're fertilizing. Watering the crops and fertilizing is follow-up. Planting seeds is lead generation. Now, a hunter goes on the attack. When you see opportunity, you transition from being a farmer to being a hunter. Now, going on the attack, that kind of sounds negative, and I mean it in a good way. I'm going on the attack to help you. I recognize opportunity. I'm becoming a hunter, which simply means, Nadine, I see your hand up. If I can show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to spend the last 10 minutes answering questions, and Nadine is first. Nadine, unless it's urgent, nod your head if it's urgent.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. No worries. Keep your hand up. So number 6, creating CMAs and mastering pricing strategies. If you were on my call the last 2 weeks, we went real deep in the 14, bless you. We went real deep in the 14-point listing presentation on pricing strategies. You want to demonstrate that you care about people, that they can trust you, and that you know what you're doing. Master pricing strategies. Number 7, delivering consultative listing presentations to sellers and buyers. Consultative listing presentations is it's a consultation versus a sell and tell sales pitch. I'm not selling anything. I am helping my buyers and sellers self-discover the right strategy to achieve their goals. By the way, part of the right strategy is to hire me. Number 8, overcome objections. Master the objections of real estate. Carry a notebook with you, and every time you hear an objection, write it down, and then get 3 responses for every objection you hear. And then PDR, which is practice, drill, rehearse, each one of those responses until you've internalized them. So that when you hear an objection, you're not thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to overcome this? You're listening intently. You're asking them questions. Tell me more. How did that make you feel? And you've got 1 of 3 responses. All you got to do is pick 1 of the 3 that you've mastered and go. Okay, number 9, mastering 3 simple closing strategies. Number 1, you ready to get started? Simple enough, right? Closing, you ready to get started? Cool. Alternative of choice. Would you like your listing to go active on the 1st, or would you prefer that we go active on the 15th? Simple alternative choice, guys. This is old stuff. And scale of 1 to 10 close, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't like anything I said, and you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Where are we today?
So what?
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't like anything I said today and you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Where are we today? Bless you. You guys are all sneezing today. Talk to me.
Hey, John, what was and number 9, what was B? I have A right.
Alternate of choice.
Thank you.
Yeah. In other words, Tamika, would you like the blue BMW or do you like the black one better? Alternate of choice.
Black.
There you go. Let's get the paperwork filled out. She just bought it, by the way, guys. Holy cow, this is easy stuff.
John?
Yes.
So number 1 is ready to get started, and 2 is alternate
of choice. Anytime you give somebody an option, instead of saying, would you like to buy this? Would you like the black one or do you like the yellow one better? That's an alternative choice.
No, I understand that. And then number 3, scale
1 to 10 close. Yep. Okay. Number 10, studying activity and feedback and making adjustments. Studying the activity. So once you've got the listing, you become a master at what activity is telling you. You become a master at interpreting feedback. And you get really, really good at listening to what the market is telling you. And you make adjustments. the team that wins the football game is not necessarily the team that played the best game. It's the team that made the best adjustments at halftime. When you're a real estate professional, you're making adjustments. All right, because I want to get to questions, I'm going to hurry up and finish. All right, number 11, creating buyer and seller urgency. Number 12, asking harm's way questions. Guys, you want to get really, really good at this? Get into the practice of writing. Get your notebook out. 5 harm's way questions every day. At the end of the month, you'll have 150 questions. Get really good at asking those questions. Harm's way questions are questions that help your client self-discover the right answer, the right solution based on pain or pleasure. And we're more motivated by avoiding pain. And that's what harm's way question does, is it takes us to pain. In other words, if you chose not to sell your home and you're still in your home 6 months from now and the market has shifted and now your home is worth less money, how would you feel about that? If interest rates go up between now and 6 months from now and fewer people can afford your home, how would you feel about that? If the values drop to a point where you can no longer afford to sell your home and you're still here a year from now rather than being in Atlanta with your family, how would your family feel about that? Harm's way questions. Logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. All right, number 13, perspective. Number 14, negotiating offers. Number 15, service first, sales second. All right, Nadine.
No, I just had the thought in my head when you were talking about recognizing opportunity to close. That's not only during lead generation time that's scheduled, you always have to have it on your radar. So for any conversation you're having, I just got an appointment with my photographer the other day to list his property, and it was just listening to that conversation. It wasn't me cold calling, it wasn't me talking to him. So just be aware of when people are throwing bait out to you. Definitely catch the bait.
Love it. Good job, Nadine. Love that. By the way, Louise Weiss, am I pronouncing that correct? Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy cow, guys, you see that? The entire conversation is in the chat. Wow, can I hire you?
Oh.
That's a great question. Can you meet today at 4? Is 5 better?
I love that. I love that. Great job. All right, guys, talk to me. We've got 8 minutes. Questions, ahas. What are you going to do different? What did you hear? Remember, the reason you're coming here is to grow. It's to learn. It's to support one another. It's not for entertainment. I'm not that entertaining. So what did you hear? What are you going to do different?
I really like the 5 harm's way questions, like really working on that, because I think you get caught up on that very easily and it can bite you in the end. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to learn more about what they would be.
Well, if you knew the answer, what would it be? In other words, Diane, I'd like to see your list of harm's way questions before I give you my list.
Oh,
I bet you know more than you think you do.
Okay.
I bet you know more than you think you do. Michael Hotman, talk to me.
I've got a buyer that we've been doing a slow negotiation sort of over the weekend, back and forth with the seller. And the harm's way questions are things that I'm going to really need to try and do this morning, because yesterday the seller came back at the buyer's original number. Wonderful thing. Then I didn't hear from the buyer all day long. Finally connected about 8 o'clock last night, and they're like, no, I don't want the property anymore. I'm kind of like, well, what's changed? And of course we haven't talked yet, but I'm thinking through that, I've got the house fits 90% of what she wants. And it's at her price now. And I'm kind of like, well, what's changed? Why are we throwing away all this work that we've done found what you want and you want to keep on going, in my mind, it's kind of like, that just doesn't make any sense. But I do need to help her self-discover that this really is a good opportunity for her.
Yeah.
This really does meet what she wants.
And it's more than likely just fear, right, Michael? And Gary talks about this in Shift. Buyers are afraid that the market's going to shift. They're afraid that they're going to overpay. And it sounds like buyer reluctance.
I think it's something worse than that. I think
Okay.
it's just pride.
Okay. Tell me what you
That
mean
she
by
didn't
that.
she didn't get what she wanted when she wanted it. And now that she's got what she wants, she's like, no, I don't really want it. Like, that doesn't sound very rational.
All right, so that's a possibility. And my advice to you, this is me coaching you, Michael, is don't be attached to the outcome. You can't want this more than she does. And right now it sounds like you want it a little bit more than she does. And the best position you could put yourself in is a position where you don't want the deal. In other words, if I were talking to her, I would simply say, look, first of all, I completely understand how you feel. And if you choose not to go forward and purchase this home, it's 100% okay with me. Matter of fact, if you choose not to go forward and purchase a home, that's okay with me as well. I'm here to work for you. Now, that said, talk to me. Tell me what changed. Now I'm role playing with you.
Right.
You're her. So talk to me. Tell me what changed.
Well, I'm just not so sure that I want to buy right now. I just don't know that it really makes sense. That house is essentially the same payment that I'm paying for rent right now, and I have some flexibility.
Totally get it. I really do. And if you chose not to buy, and remember, I'm cool with that. I really am. If you chose not to buy and interest rates went up in the next 6 months, let's say they went up by 1% or possibly even more, would that change your buying criteria? Are you still looking at homes up to whatever price range she's approved at, or are we looking at a lower price?
It just means I need to move my price up because I'm well qualified, well approved. It just means I guess I'll have to spend a little bit more, which is something I don't really want to do,
Yeah.
but I'm willing
Okay.
to do it.
Okay. And if that were to happen and you end up paying more for the house over the term of the loan, are you okay with that? How do you feel about that?
Well, it'll be more of a home that I can have without my son. And my son right now is a consideration, but in another 6 months to a year, that's not necessarily consideration.
Okay. So Michael, here's where I would go based on the conversation that you and I are having. I would do a takeaway. And the takeaway is simply, Michael, it just sounds like you've changed your mind and you're not ready to buy. Is that correct?
That's what I'm considering, where direction
Yeah.
I'm considering going into.
Cool. I'm really good at that. I'll tell you what, I'll stay in touch with you. I'll give you a call in about a week just to check in. And if anything changes, just let me know.
Okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Next. Some will, some won't. Next. You can't want this more than she does. And if she doesn't want it,
yeah, it's not a matter of me, because I've checked myself. Do I want this more than she does? It's not. I just think she's walking away from a good opportunity.
well, she probably is.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like I need to push back and say, it sounds like you're not really ready to buy yet. And if that's okay, if that's where you are, that's fine. Maybe we do take a break. When something pops up that really hits what you want, then maybe we go. But she's also realized some of the properties that she's looked at have disappeared even before we can get to them. Of course, I don't see that changing in our current market for the foreseeable future.
Totally get it. All right. Great job, Michael. Keep working on those harm's way questions, by the way. Mark Benson.
I add with Michael a couple further thoughts. Before you plant the seed that she's going to walk away, you might try the feel, felt, found. I can totally understand how you feel. I've worked with clients in the past who've had similar feelings, and what they found was that the market didn't shift in their favor. Do you feel the market is working in your favor or against your favor right now?
Good job, Mark. Great job, Mark. Thank you for that. That's good stuff there, guys. All right, who's next?
John,
Yes, talk to me.
hey, happy Monday to you. So, not trying to shift from what you've been doing this week and last week, but what about agents? We've been trying to reach out to agents with care calls just from the basis of, hey, we did business with you last year, or, maybe in the past couple of years, it was great working with you. Just want to check on you and see how you're doing, because we found some amazing help that we want to share with you if you would like to know more about it.
Okay.
What do
Yeah.
you think about that script?
I love it. I think reaching out to other real estate agents with care calls is always a great idea to do. It's always a great idea, Jeff, of course. That's being a great leader, which you are, by the way, and I wouldn't expect anything less from a great leader like you.
I like the idea of just telling them that we're thinking about them. We loved working with them. We want to check on them. And if they were looking for someone to talk to, we have some great opportunities. And, we're growing our business right now, and we just want to help them any way we can. And that way, just take it from there is what I'm thinking.
Totally get it. 100%. Okay,
All right,
guys,
thank you.
Yeah, you got it, man. It's 9 a.m. So here's, I'm going to go back to where we started. You're Cliff Young, and you are going to be in an ultra marathon race. And here is the blueprint in order to win that race. Have 20 conversations today. Talk to 20 people about real estate. The purpose of a conversation is to get an appointment, get a referral, or add somebody to your database. Period. Don't judge opportunity away. When someone is trying to sell their home, buy, owner, go look at it. Whether they intend on ever listing the property, or if they tell you that if they ever do list the property, if they've got somebody that will list it for 2%, whatever, that's all just noise to me. Go see the house. Go get face-to-face with 2 people today that are thinking of buying a home or thinking of selling a home. And it doesn't matter if it's in the next 30 days, 6 months, or a year from now, because a year from now, you're going to need listings and you're going to need buyers. So talk to 20 people today focused on getting an appointment, getting a referral, or adding somebody to your database. Number 2, build relationships. Build relationships by communicating with everyone in your database. And like Jeff said, it's care calls, not sales calls. You're checking in with them. It's a forward conversation, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You don't have to talk about real estate. They know you're a real estate agent. They're going to ask you, so how's the market? And that's going to give you an opportunity to tell them and to get into a conversation about real estate. Number 3, go on at least one appointment every single day with someone who's thinking of buying or selling a home. Number 4, once you've met with someone, they're in your pipeline now. They stay there forever or until they sell their home or list their home. This is from Tom Hopkins, guys. It's not from me, so don't get mad at me. Or you're dead. Those are the 3 reasons you have to stop making calls. Number 1, they sold their house. Number 2, they listed their house. Number 3, you're dead. You're allowed to stop calling. Other than that, follow up forever. I'm never going to hire you. Awesome. Talk to you in a week. All right. Write 5 handwritten personal notes every single day. Handwritten personal notes. Every time you talk to somebody, it's an opportunity to write a handwritten personal note. Every time you go and meet with somebody, it's an opportunity to write a handwritten personal note. Write 5 handwritten personal notes. All right. So in closing, guys, reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. People will not change their mind. What they will do is make a new decision based on new information. Keep asking questions until you get to the right question that provides new information and magic. Now, there it is. There's the blueprint to go out and build $1 million real estate business. You're Cliff Young. Nobody told you to sleep at night, so go run and just keep running until you win the race. Make it a great day, everybody.
Run like Forrest.
There you go. Run, Forrest, run.
Thanks, John. Thank you.
Thank you.